This is David Loebe, talking to Noodles of the Offspring for Rock Antenne. I'm very excited. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, my pleasure, man. Yeah, good to be here.
Let's cut just straight to it. I don't want to take up too much of your time. On April 16th, you're releasing your brand new studio record, Let the Bad Times Roll. After all these years and records, are you still excited for the release day, or is it routine by now?
No, very excited. You know, and it's been a while. It's been 9 years since we put out a record, and so it feels new all over again. But I think really anytime, the deal is every time we have like a bunch of songs here that nobody's heard except for us. And we think they're great. We're super excited, but the fans haven't heard them yet. So we feel like we're on ice, you know, and we don't know if the ice is going to hold until the fans get a hold of it. And hopefully they like the songs. That'll mean the ice is thick enough and we're all good, you know. But if the fans hate it, then we're just going to fall through that ice and it's going to be miserable. That's kind of how it feels, right? You know, you don't want to be sinking in a cold ocean. You want the fans to keep us buoyed by enjoying this music. So hopefully that happens.
How's been the reaction to the first single? I think you can gauge a little how the fans are going to like the music.
It's been great so far. It really has been good. You know, you never know. The song's got a really aggressive sounding verse and a poppy sounding chorus. Yeah. And you know, we kind of did that to because it works for the song, the meaning of the song, you know, and so we weren't sure how it was going to be received, but it's been really good. People are enjoying it.
That's good to hear. Always good to hear, and especially for you, I guess. I'm
still on the ice, so yeah, I'm still out of the water. Yeah.
Having been 9 years since the last record, it's a lot of time to write new music. So when did you really start to write for the new record? Are there songs on it that are like from 2012, 2013, or is it more recent stuff?
There's some stuff on here that's older, that goes back, but most of it is probably the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. We really had a real productive time right up until the pandemic hit, and then even through the pandemic, we knew we were close, and we were looking to put the record out sooner, but then the pandemic shut everything down. We were actually on tour in South America when everything got shut down. We had to fly home. And so then we decided, well, we don't want to put this out in the middle of a pandemic. Let's take a look and tweak a few things here and there. We kind of gave the record another once over, and then we started recording Christmas songs and covering the Tiger King. And eventually we realized, okay, man, we got this. This record's good. It's done. We need to just give it to the fans because we need to know what they think.
And did you empty the vault, or are there some songs left from the writing process that maybe you could release in the future?
No, we've probably got about half a record's worth of songs that are either finished or close to being finished. Okay.
So I don't want to push it too far since the new record isn't even out yet. But do you have a feeling if it's going to be like another 9 years until you guys put out a new record, or are you now in the swing of things and maybe, I don't know, some point closer?
We kind of feel like you got to strike while the iron's hot, and we feel like the iron's hot. You know, yeah, we're working right now and things are good. So, hey, look who's joining me.
Hey. You trying to start this without me?
Look at David. This is my friend Dexter Holland.
I've heard of him. Hi, Dexter.
You may know him.
Hi. Well, hello.
Hello.
Sorry I'm late, but geez.
No problem. I'm sure it's busy, not even a month before the release of the new record, right?
Yeah, it's pretty busy today, for sure.
Today's one of the busier days. Yeah, for sure.
But I'm glad you could join us. We haven't gone through too much, and maybe I could ask you the next question. Mm-hmm. The title of the record and the first single, Let the Bad Times Roll. Can you explain that a little bit, how that title came to be?
Yeah, I mean, that seems to sum up the world that we're living in right now. Let the bad times roll, that's for sure. I mean, I think on the one hand, it seems like we live in a time where our leaders are not trying to solve the problems. They're trying to escalate problems. It's like if there's a fight, they're going to make it a worse fight or a worse whatever. And I think that's trickled down to where you have people in our country or other countries that if there's a fight going on, they're going to make it, well, let's bring it on. Let's make it worse. Let the bad times roll.
If they keep the people divided, it's easier for them to keep their positions of power.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. I crushed them.
Let the bad times roll. Bring it on. So I don't know. That's one way of looking at it. I guess another way of looking at it is to say, well, at the same time, we have to step back and go, well, look, if we can't change what's going on, we kind of have to say, whatever, bring it on. Let the bad times roll, I guess.
I mean, you can only wallow in the shit so much before you have to get on with your life, and all right, fuck it. Let them roll. Let them roll.
So it's like conceding, throwing your arms up in the air and saying, fuck it. I don't even know what to do anymore.
Let's dance, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
Drink.
I get it. I actually had a chance to listen to the record already, which is great because it's a great record. I really enjoyed it. Musically speaking, I feel like this is just a classic The Offspring, straight punk, no bullshit, let's do this rock album, maybe except for, the Gone Away Requiem, of course. Was that your intention with the new record? Just straight, go in it, punk, loud, hard?
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
We knew that it had been 9 years since we'd put out another record, and we wanted our fans to know, hey, man, this is still who we are. At the same time, there's a song with horns on it, and then there's the piano version of Gone Away on it.
There's some oddballs.
Different for us, but all the rest is pretty much, and there's a certain kind of music that you're always going to find plenty of on an Offspring record, the hard, heavy bass, drums, guitar with, a melodic song behind it. And you're always going to find that. But I think maybe we did that a little extra on this record.
I think it comes across overall as a more straightforward Offspring album.
Extra Offspring.
Yes, extra.
20% more Offspring on this Offspring record.
Dexter, you actually said in an interview that you guys are not a political band, but I felt like in songs like This Is Utopia or Hassan Chop, I kind of felt like a little political criticism towards your record.
Kind of similar. Yeah.
Well, I would say that, look, we're commenting on the world that we live in, right? The political side is part of it. It's not really who we are, but how could you write about how could you do an album and not write about what's going on in the world right now?
Yeah, it would seem dishonest to not address some of this shit.
Yeah. But it's more a reflection of who we are, the way we see the world, rather than being overtly or intentionally political.
We grew up in a scene that did have a lot of overtly political bands in it. And sometimes that was great. Sometimes that was fine. Sometimes it was kind of like, yeah, we get it. We don't need to be preached to or preached at, we even when you agreed with them. Yeah, I agree. Especially when they would stop in between songs and just try to tell us how to live our lives. Then that was really frustrating.
But
it's freedom. It's freedom of speech, not freedom to preach. You like that?
Okay. All right. I must stick that one in my pocket and pull it out later.
Yeah.
And you guys don't preach. It's a difference between preaching and just stating facts and describing what's going on around you. I think that's a big difference.
You kind of broke up at the beginning of that question.
I was saying that you guys aren't preachy, but that you're stating what's happening around you, and I think that's the big difference.
And we kind of ask questions about, hey, can you, what is this? What is going on here? We do kind of put it like that for sure. But yeah, we definitely observe what's happening in the world for sure.
But would you say is it really worse today than it's been 10, 20, 30 years ago? Because I feel like everybody's saying, nowadays everything is so shit. Is it, do you really feel like today's time I know pandemic and all, but aside?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty bad.
We thought it was bad when we wrote "Shit is fucked up."
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe we always expect things to get better. And when they don't, we're thinking, what I don't want to do, and I don't think we've done that yet, is I don't want to be turned into that guy who's like, get off my lawn. Like the old guy's like, who at the same time says, man, you got it easy, you kids these days, when we were kids, yeah. So no, I think there's some serious issues happening in the world. The pandemic, of course, is is a big one. I look forward to getting the pandemic set aside, getting through that so that we can start addressing some of the other issues we see, some of the social injustice, the economic injustice, I think we see some really serious attacks on democracy, not just abroad, but here in our own country. So I'd like to see people start supporting democracy more. Yeah.
I actually really love your background. Where are you guys right now?
This is our studio. We did do a little bit more decorating in here. We put up some drapes on the walls, but this is actually the studio where we did this record.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. This is our board. It's our home studio here in Huntington Beach, California.
And Bob Rock just came by.
But this is where Bob, he shows up. He usually will stay at a local hotel, and then we meet here in the mornings and work until evening. This is the control room. We have the soundproof room out there with all the amps and drums and stuff. And we've got like a kitchen and a TV and couch out in the other room out there.
Any beer in there?
Tons of beer in there. Yeah, tons of beer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Always have to ask. What I was wondering, how hands-on is Bob with you guys? I know some producers are more hands-on, more hands-off. How involved is he with the writing and the mixing and stuff like that?
I mean, always there. Yeah.
Yeah, always. Yeah. I've heard stories of producers that they more check in. Yeah. But that's not how Bob works. He's there every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I write on my own. I generally bring ideas to the studio. So, there's usually something going on before we all get together, but he's always there.
But you always run the ideas by him.
For sure. We hash out ideas as well. It's a good story. I remember once I said, okay, Bob, how about I'll put some demos together, and then when you come in, we can start working on it. And he goes, I'll sit around while you do the demo if you want. Like, he actually wanted to be there while I was putting together the studio. Well, I'm just going to be doing a drum machine for a few hours. He goes, no, that's all right. I'll sit in it. So he's happy to get right in it with you from the very beginning, which is so great.
Oh, sorry. How was it that you guys actually got together? I think it was the not the last record, but the one before, right?
Right.
Yeah, we were looking for a producer for Rise and Fall, and it was really kind of the label suggested a few different people. We talked to Rick Ocasek at one point, and I forgot the other guy's name, but Bob was one of the names that was brought up, and we just spoke over the phone, and I liked him over the phone, so I went out to Hawaii and met with him, and we just kind of hit it off right away.
And what do you think makes such a good fit between you guys? What is the chemistry?
I think, what a lot of people don't know is that Bob got his start really in the Vancouver punk rock scene.
Okay.
So, you ask him, how did the Sex Pistols get the sound on Nevermind the Bollocks? And he knows, as a guitar player, he knows exactly what they did and how to get that sound. He played in a band called the Payolas in Canada, and they had some success all over the world, really. But because they were new wave, they were kind of relegated to playing with other punk bands and in punk clubs and stuff. And so that's kind of where he grew up, even though people know him mostly for a lot of the work he did with metal bands like Metallica and Mötley Crüe and, bands like that. But he's also worked with Michael Bublé. He's a very, really, got quite a varied, amount of work. Yeah. In background. So. Eddie's just cool as shit. He's just a nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
Yeah. I just remember him from the Metallica documentary when he was doing the Black Album, and I think the documentary, the Saint Anger documentary, where he was kind of a therapist between the guys. Did he ever have to counsel between you if you have a fight?
No, we actually all got along really well with him, and I think maybe that's kind of one of the reasons why we click so well is, I don't know, we don't need therapists between us. We just click well with him.
I mean, there's been times where if we're trying a song I'm trying to think of an example. I did a couple records ago, A Lot Like Me, whatever. It was a challenging vocal. The verse was really low and then it was getting really high, and I was having a tough time with it. And you start to get bummed. You can't help but internalize this. all of a sudden I'm having a bad day, and he can see it all going downhill. And he knows how to stop and say, let's take a break and let's just, shoot the shit for a little while and talk. So he knows how to be that counseling guy if you need to.
And if you're doubting yourself, but he thinks you're on the verge of something, he'll support you and keep boosting you. If you're doubting yourself and you're right to be doubting yourself, he'll let it go. I think, right? And maybe, but steer you in a maybe a different direction too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've come in to sing and had it be like it's not sounding good. And I feel like I'm not going. And I've had him go, "Don't quit on me, Dexter. Come on, stay with me. Because sometimes your voice will come around after half an hour.
Right.
And I've had it go the other way where it seems like it's not. He goes, "Yeah, you're sounding a little hoarse today. I think we should hang it up."
Yeah.
So he has been your rock for the past few albums.
Yes.
We say our rock, but sure.
See what I did there? I'm just kidding.
But I saw rock. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Are you guys planning to release any more singles before April 16th?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
We want to release a few singles on this record for sure. And I think when the time is right, we'll do that. We just put out the video for Let the Bad Times Roll today. So I don't know if we'll have time to put out something before the record.
Yeah. It seems like at this point it would be pushing it, but we definitely have singles, I think, on this record that we want to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any songs you guys are particularly excited about on the new record?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it changes from day to day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be at least one more video on this. But then there's other songs that I hope can go to radio and do well, or radio, whatever accounts for radio now. It's a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot. This is not Utopia. I keep on going back to. I just like that it's a punk.
Behind Your Walls for me is one of my favorites on this. It's a little bit more of a serious song, a little more straightforward rock, but I think it's great.
I love the Opioid Diaries. I don't know, the song kind of hit. I don't even really know why. It just hit it off with me. I just kept listening again and again.
Playing that one live actually for a couple of years now. We thought that would be a good one. If you're going to do one live that they have the people haven't heard yet, the fans haven't heard, that'd be a good one to go with. And we've been doing it. It's been going over well with the fans already. Yeah. Even though they haven't heard it yet.
Can you explain to me what the song is about? Because the title kind of strikes a very strong image.
Well, it's really about the opioid crisis that we see happening here in the United States. With the rise of pharmaceutical painkillers that are opiate based and addictive, highly addictive, and they were marketed as being non-addictive, by the companies that made them and marketed them. And so instead of just countercultural people experimenting with heroin, in the back alleys, it's everyday Americans getting strung out on drugs that they had no idea they were going to get strung out on. They weren't trying to experiment with drugs. They thought they were taking something that would benefit them. That's what they were told by their doctors, and their doctors were told that by the companies themselves. Mm-hmm. And really, they're being given this highly addictive drug. I don't know that we see that so much in other parts of the world. It's certainly a big issue here in the United States.
It is.
I mean, people are overdosing, and then you add fentanyl. Once they get addicted to OxyContin or whatever, then they switch to cheaper street drugs like heroin, and then they're getting fentanyl mixed in with that, and they're overdosing at rates that we've never seen. I mean, just really astronomical rise in the rates of overdoses.
Well, the sad thing is that there are alternatives. I mean, you guys are in California. I don't have to tell you about marijuana or CBD. So,
sure, yeah. Well, I don't think people need the hardcore painkillers that were being marketed.
Right?
I honestly don't think that. Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a problem with pot. I like weed. I think it's fun, but I don't know that it's the miracle cure that some people make it out to be.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think people try to promote that in countries where it still need to be legalized. Here in Germany, for example, people are pushing this miracle drug.
Is it not legal in Germany yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. I know that when we would, our earliest days in Germany, everyone smoked hash in Germany.
All the time.
Yeah.
They do. It's not legal.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we're coming up on time. I thank you very much for taking the time today. I enjoyed it very much. I'm really looking forward to everybody hearing the new record on April 16th.
Yeah. Thank you, David.
It's a pleasure talking with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.